What's up, everybody? My name is Tim Roswick, and today I want to talk about the truth behind virality and some specific things behind that subject that a lot of people don't discuss. We're going to talk about that and why you should care in this video. So first up, what I want to say is that anything ever that gets shared has to have a reaction. If your video or your game or your blog article doesn't get a reaction out of people, it's not gonna go viral. It's not gonna spread. People aren't gonna share it. And a lot of people, they strive for this virality, for this sharing. They want to put stuff out there that gets shared and gets consumed and just everywhere else out there. Myself included, I've tried to do this a couple times, and I want to say that what a lot of people don't realize is that mediocre content, mediocre blog posts, mediocre just regular old stuff does not get shared. One of the things I learned from a PR company way back in the day when I worked with them and I did marketing and stuff like that was that the stuff that gets shared is usually on the positive or the negative spectrum. If your stuff is okay, if your stuff is maybe, even if it's good, it's just not super positive or super negative, or it's not super great or super bad, chances are it's not going to get shared. People don't share okay stuff, right? They share the high end, the stuff they've had amazing experiences with and they just have to tell people, and they share the low end, the shit that they have to talk about because it's so bad and so horrible. If you think about, like, I don't know, a toaster, right? Toaster's good. It does what it's supposed to do. It toasts stuff, you know. You press the button and the bread goes down and you got toasted bread, you know. You're not gonna go to work by the water cooler and say, hey man, yo, I got this toaster that like toasts bread. And it's not great, but like it toasts bread totally okay. That conversation is not going to happen. Let's just be real. Now, if the toaster has some crazy features, right? Like maybe it had timers, maybe it had the ability to put, I don't know, patterns into your toast. Maybe it's just the best toaster you've ever owned and you need to share it. Then the toaster is going to come up in a conversation. Coincidentally, also, if you blow up the toaster, if the toaster blows up on you, if it burns your toast, maybe it burns the side of your kitchen or something, probably going to share that too. That's how it is with everything. That's how all objects and stuff that people sell online, that's how it works. People share the positives and they share the negatives. That in-between sequence does not get shared. It doesn't get picked up by word of mouth. It doesn't go viral. It doesn't do any of that. If you look through my channel, the videos that tend to do the best, matter of fact, you can sort by top viewed and you can just go through and use my YouTube channel as an example. The videos that do the best are the ones that are really good, a lot of content, or I say something that pisses a bunch of people off, right? It's one of those two things. Like I did really good or I made somebody really angry, right? Those are the only stuff that gets shared. If I make videos like almost every day, and here's the problem, most of them are just okay. They're not super great, they're not bad, but they're not super great, they're just okay, and that's why they sit in the same view range every day. And the same thing is with games. I've made a lot of games that are not great, right? They're just okay. They're just okay, and people play them, oh yeah, that's a good game, but it's not worth sharing to their friend. It's not worth interrupting a conversation at lunch, you know? It's not worth bringing up because it was just okay. It wasn't extraordinary. Same thing with a bad game, right? Like if a game just pisses you off and goes like just sets off your anger, like what a lot of rage games do, people like to share that stuff, even though they might have had a bad time and a high stress response and it just drives them crazy. They're sharing the stuff because the stuff makes it elicits an emotional response, a negative emotional response. Same thing on the other end. So what I want to just share today about virality, about getting your stuff out there, about getting your stuff talked about, is not so much whether or not you should make a good or bad game, but it's that you have to avoid the middle. You have to avoid the middle. You have to avoid the safe space where you're not going to offend anybody, where it's just good, it's okay, it's not great, it's not bad. You have to avoid that space because that's the space where you get ignored. And a lot of people don't realize that, especially you have a lot of really good game developers. They'll make games and the games are okay because they don't strive to make that little bit excellent. They don't polish up those animations. They don't really work on the game feel of the attacks. They don't really focus on the user experience. And as a result, their game gets passed up. Not because the game's bad, just because it's okay and it's not great. So my main message for you today is just avoid that middle section, right? You can make something good. You can make a positive mental response. You can make a positive emotional response on somebody. You can do everything on that spectrum. You can also do the opposite, right? You can get people to hate you. You can piss people off. You could do all kinds of crazy shit. You can make some rage games, right? And that works too. Either one of those will get shared. They have different consequences for getting shared, for sure. You have to be prepared, right? If you're going to piss a bunch of people off, prepare for pitchforks maybe. But I'm just saying, like, that's the stuff that gets shared. It's not the in-between. And that's the message for today. So if you found it useful or you have any questions on it, leave them down below in the comments. Hit the thumbs up if you like this. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Let me know that you hate me. Once again, my name is Tim Roswick, and I'll see you again tomorrow.